I want to talk about the your thing now that you said prior about the you want to see the Angel Reese without Camilla.
Yeah.
I ag- I I agree with that part, but I don't really agree with the part of her being the five because if you watch how she plays with E Will, is way better than and smoother and less and effortless than when she plays with Camilla. Because of Camilla's, I think Camilla's play style doesn't really match with hers. Because Camilla is sluggish in the half court. She's sluggish.
That's a fact.
Like she will run the floor, you know what I'm saying, on fast breaks and stuff like that. But in the half court, when they set up their half court offense, she's sluggish. She's like her feet get stuck in the mud. She's not cutting. She's not moving too much without the basketball. If you look at her, she walks around slowly. She's really sluggish. But E will, she's moving. She's running around. She's cutting. You know what I'm saying? She making dive cuts to the basket. So it's like I don't really feel like it's the Angel needs to be at the five. I just feel like just need a she just needs to play with a more mobile five.
Van Lith again, right down the.
But that's what's so tough, Mo three, because E Will is definitely more skilled, right? So like she knows where to kind of be on the court to kind of give Angel the ability to play her game. But E Will is kind of slow. That's what's so
Yeah,
tough about it.
yeah,
But she has a better mid-range game. You know, she can put up some stuff. But that was one of the first things that Jeff P did. He re-signed E Will.
all right, E will is slow on the fast breaks, like running the floor. But what I'm talking about is the offense, the half court offense, because the majority of games are played in the half court set, especially in the WNBA because it's a big orientated league. Most of the top players are bigs, and they're not running. Teams are not running their bigs out of the game. You know what I'm saying? There's very few up tempo teams that just run up and down the court. You
Well,
know,
I
My
agree with
thing,
you. That's why I'm saying I'm back and forth on E Will, but I just think that we could have got a better big than E Will because E Will's deal had expired and
yeah, they
Jeffrey
bought her.
signed her.
Yeah. My thing though, real quick too. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with what nobody's saying. All I'm saying is I would love to see Angel out there with a stretch either 4 or a stretch 5, and let Angel be the primary person in the paint so that she doesn't have to give anybody space, right? She doesn't have to give E Will space. She doesn't have to give Camilla space.
eh,
She'll be the one getting the space. I just want to see what it looks like in the pros. I've seen it in the I've seen what it looks like in college. I've seen what she was able to do. And I also seen what she looked like in the pros with playing against, like, even right here, what she did against Tina Charles today. Tina Charles is a legitimate center in the WNBA, and she was able to hold her own against Tina Charles. She's able to hold her own against most bigs. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a mismatch, I don't think, for Angel, except for like maybe 3 or 4 bigs in the league, unless, when you talk about like maybe John Quell Jones, if you're talking about maybe Brittany Griner, people like that. But for the most part, I think she'll be fine. So I want to see what our offense could look like if Angel had Maddy Westbeld, who's on our roster already, out there with her to space the floor, opposed to having a E Will who's going to be in the paint and a Camilla who's going to be in the paint. I just want to see what it looks like. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, that would be the optimal situation for it. And I didn't bring up E Will advocating for E Will to be. I was just using it as an example, as to show a
She plays
difference,
better. Yeah.
difference of play style to as compared to Camilla. Because what I'm saying is a mobile, just a center that's more mobile, meaning being able to get to different spots on the floor You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As opposed to someone that's just sluggish and stuck in the mud. You know what I'm saying?
But
Just a mobile big. I don't care who the mobile big is.
But
as
look,
long as
I
they're a
think
mobile
ain't-
big.
Yeah.
Angel is that mobile big though.
Yeah, but Mo3, I know you weren't advocating for her. I'm just gonna always bring it back to Jeff P because I just
Yeah.
want to remind y'all why
Yeah.
she's there.
Hey, and I love that. Hold Jeff P accountable because you know I'm with you. If you've been watching my page, you already know. I blame Jeff P every time I get it. So I'm with you. Hold Jeff P accountable.
Yeah, Jeff P has made a bunch of questionable moves. See, Jeff P is Jeff P is the type of person to have you pulling your hair out because he makes good moves,
He
but
do
he
make
also makes terrible moves.
Yeah.
Like he makes moves to get it because
Imagine Mo3.
even Angel, we wouldn't have Angel. Or
That's
they
the
wouldn't have
point I was
Angel
gonna make.
without him. You know what I'm saying? So he do make good.
No. We would have. Mo3, imagine he didn't do the pick swap with Minnesota, right? Imagine he just drafted Angel at 8.
No,
right?
no.
Hold on. Let me finish. Imagine he drafted Angel at 8, right?
Yeah.
And then he did the Mabry trade like he did. We would have 2 picks in the lottery. 26.
But
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But what I was referring to was before that. He made. Oh, that wasn't him. That was James Wade that did that. All right. Put his feet back to the fire.
But
My
point is going back to what I was saying. Last year to get Angel, we got to add 7, right? But the reason why we got to add 7 is because we gave Minnesota a pick swap and then we swapped with them because we had the 8th pick originally.
Yeah.
So we would have just stayed at 8. We would have still got Angel at 8, right? And then that next season, and we would have still traded Marina, right? We get the pick swap with Phoenix. So now we would have Phoenix pick, Phoenix in Connecticut. So, Connecticut is struggling right now. So we assuming it's going to be a lottery pick, right? But then we would have also our own pick because we are struggling too. So we could have got, let's just say, an Olivia Miles and an AZ Fudd in the same draft. You get what I'm saying? We could have got 2 of these players we could have got a Flau'jae Johnson and a Olivia. You know what I mean? But because he did that, we only gonna get 1, and then Minnesota's gonna get one of them players as well because we did that trade with them. But actually, no, I think Minnesota traded that to Seattle. Did Minnesota trade that to Seattle? I'm not sure, but we could have had 2 picks. Is all I'm saying. 2026.
He thought he was slick. He thought we wasn't going. I don't say he thought that Sky wasn't going to suck this year, so that pick wouldn't have mattered. But the Sky sucks, so it does matter.
But it goes back to what you just said, Mo3. Him making good moves and bad moves. Because if you would have kept Chennedy Carter, maybe we wouldn't be so bad right now.
He made good moves when it comes to getting picks. But when it comes to actual roster construction, horrible move. Like the ad move. I haven't seen one good move yet from the roster construction. But as far as like obtaining like assets, like draft picks and such, he's good at that. But the roster construction, he's not good at.
It goes back to what I said earlier about the ego thing, though, because one of the reasons why he fired Teaspoon is because she would challenge him, right? Teaspoon is somebody who played in this game. Teaspoon is somebody who's been playing her whole life, got coaching her whole life. She knows basketball, right? So she would challenge Jeff P's ideas, and he didn't like that, right? So now he fires Teaspoon, gets the guy that he wants. I don't know if y'all saw the press conference. I probably did because y'all sound like y'all in tune. He's talking about, me and Tyler, we just saw the game the same way. You get what I'm saying? So he's getting that goes back to that ego and that cockiness. He thinks that Teaspoon didn't know what she was talking about. He know what he was talking about. Got somebody else who gonna coach the way he wants, and now they out here losing, and he blaming everybody but himself.
Yeah.
To Miss Goody Two Shoe point, we got to keep this blame on Tyler Marsh.
Nah, well, the only thing I would blame, in my opinion, I would blame Tyler Marsh for is not having a backbone, being a man and standing up for himself and say, no, I'm gonna coach. Because people think that Tyler Marsh is just some development coach that was like sitting third chair behind Becky Hammond or some. But Tyler Marsh was actually a real coach. This is his first head coach, but he was an assistant coach before. He was an assistant coach for the Pacers. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, he was also for a short period of time, assistant coach for the Raptors. Mm-hmm. Not just
when they won the championship.
He went from development coach to be an assistant coach, and before he went to the Aces. So he knows how to coach. He's been a coach, just not a head coach, but he's been an actual second chair assistant coach. So he didn't just. So you mean to tell me he just forgot how to coach? You know what I'm saying? And he was coaching. When he was doing that assist. When he was doing the coaching in Toronto, that was the year they won the championship. So you mean to tell me he just forgot how to just coach? I think that he's just not standing up to Jeff, and Jeff is the coach. Jeff is like, yeah, this is the offense we gonna play. This is who I want in the game, and he's just doing it.
Yeah, I think so too, because I see what Tyler is trying to get at. Like when they're out on the floor, I see what they are attempting to do, right? But again, anytime you heavily rely on a Rachel Bannum, a Kia Nurse, and Rebecca Allen, you're going to lose. There's no other WNBA coach that relied on them heavily for offense. The more minutes they play, the worse they kind of become. Right? Like Rachel Bannum is good if you got to give her maybe 10 minutes max. She's catch and shoot. You let her go. I would honestly say the same thing for Kia Nurse. Beck Allen, you can get a little bit out of her. Sometimes she'll defend, but she's a little lazy too, if we're being honest.
The thing that did it for me was after Rachel had that horrible game, the next practice, Jeff P traveled with the team. He traveled with the team to where I think Phoenix or wherever they traveled to. He traveled with the team, and he's there in practice, having one-on-one lessons with Rachel. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? What is this man doing, bro? This man should be on the phone trying to do some wheeling and dealing. This man traveling with the team, having one-on-one coaching. Like, what's going on? You're not the coach, bro. What are you doing?
And isn't Rachel Bannum, is she 31 or 32 too?
Yeah, something like that.
So it's also like she's not gonna have a breakout season.
Yeah, she's 31. She's been in the league 10 years.
She look out of shape.
She's not going to have a breakout season.
She always looks out of shape.
Why are we developing Rachel Bannum, y'all?
Ask Jeff that. You need to have Jeff.
It's been 10 years. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. She's the same person. I mean, E Will developed her game a little bit more, but like I said, E Will wanted to. Like I said, it comes down to want to. If you don't want to improve on your game after 10 years, you still want to be a catch and shoot player. Guess what? You're a catch and shoot player. E Will has developed a better jump shot. She's taking more shots. She even took a 3 and hit it. You know. She's not taking it more consistently because that has been a player she's been, but she's been scoring more because she knows she needs to score a lot more. You need to score more for this team. And as a player, you can't just grab, block, rebound. You got to and defend. You got to score some too. So if Rachel ain't not gonna hit a dribble specialist, work with dribble too much or somebody, and get some actual handles and then I don't know. I don't want to women act like I'm body shaming, but I don't know. Hit the gym a little bit
No.
instead of all those Usher concerts that she was bragging about hitting. He hit like 3 concerts in a row. Then hey, I'm sorry. That's who she gonna be. I
Okay,
swear she's been
okay,
the
but
same. She
Nate.
looked the same the past 5 years.
Okay, so but Nate, let's get real, okay? At 10 years in the game,
Yeah.
now you gonna get some handles?
But it goes back to what I
That's what I'm
said.
saying. Want
It's
to. She gotta
ego.
want it though.
It's ego. These
Ego.
these
Yeah.
Tyler Marsh wants, not Tyler Marsh, Jeff P wants to be correct. He wants to be right. You know what I mean? With the moves that he making, he wants to have the "I told you so" moment. You get what I'm saying? And right now we have the "I told you so" moment because we sitting here like we knew none of these moves made sense. We always like, wait, you firing
I got a quick question,
teaspoon?
bro.
Yeah.
So I got a question. So y'all people have been bringing up Kennedy. So I got a question. If Kennedy wasn't tweeting, and like side tweeting, like about Angel, about Courtney Vandersloot, you think she would have had a call by now? Because all these sub tweets ain't helping her calls. These passive
Nah, I think
aggressive tweets is not helping.
I think the writing was on the wall last year. I don't think got nothing to do with tweets. I think when he fired Teaspoon, I think part of the reason of firing Teaspoon was obviously the fact that they didn't get along, or he, they was having a little back and forth. But I think it's also he was pissed that she gave Chennedy Carter a shot. Because Chennedy Carter, everybody want to blame Chennedy Carter for being blackballed because of the CC hit, which don't make sense. And then some people, she was already blackballed. Some people was even saying, I know Coach Mark is saying it's because of something that happened in the locker room. Maybe,
yeah.
But Chennedy Carter was blackballed before that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just somebody she's somebody who the GMs decided they don't want in the league. Kurt Miller decided it. Now Jeff P decided it. And now the rest of the GMs is kind of on board. She doesn't, Kennedy didn't have anybody in her corner but Teaspoon. Maybe some players, some vets, some retired players, stuff like that. That's who's in Kennedy Carter's corner. Even, in fact, if you know Kennedy Carter's story, even in college, a lot of the older people that was on her team when she first came in as a freshman didn't like her for whatever reason. They felt like she was taking over too much of the offense or whatever. But her coach was on her side. Her coach, they had got rid of some of them older players that either, I don't know if they went into the league, because I don't know who was on her team. I don't know if they went into the league or they just, finished in college. But once them older players left the team, it became Kennedy Carter's team at Texas A&M. And then Kennedy... Go ahead, Mo3.
You know what it is with Chennedy Carter that usually rubs her teammates the wrong way? She's like, those super baddies that know that they're super baddies, the way they act and treat people.
Yeah.
That's kind of how Chennedy Carter is when it comes to basketball.
Yeah,
she's
she got like
really good, and she knows that she's really like she's better than everybody else, and she knows it. So she carries herself that way, and it just kind of rubs people the wrong way.
Makes people feel uncomfortable.
She's not humble.
Yeah.
She's not humble. She's like, oh man, I know I'm the shit. Like, what I'm saying? People don't really like that.
But here's and I agree with you 1000%, Mo3. But here's my problem with that, right? When it comes down to winning games, are we worried about people's feelings? Right? Because I'd rather have a player on my team that's not humble, right? Because you could say the same if you understand the stories of Kobe Bryant. I don't know how many of y'all heard the stories of Kobe, not in the game. I'm talking about in practice, like AI would say. If you heard the stories of Kobe, he knew how good he was, and he let everybody know it. So it's like when it comes down to winning, are you sitting here worried about chemistry and how everybody feel and everybody feelings, or do you want to just put the best people on the court that's going to win you some games, especially in the business where people keep their job from winning games?
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So it's like that annoys me a little bit, that people feel that way about Chennedy in basketball. It's like it's a sport. Yeah, you're gonna have people that walk around thinking they the shit. And listen, and I'm not sitting here saying Chennedy can't grow because, you know, is it right? Listen, I saw something last year that I was like, damn, Chennedy, you ain't have to do that. Chennedy was mad. I forgot something happened. She missed a shot or something. I don't know. But Michaela tried to walk over and give her a high five, and Chennedy just walked past her. I was just like, damn, Chennedy, you ain't had to do that. Just get a girl a high five. But it was like, get out your feelings, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she does that, and I don't like, you know, certain things she could grow, but at some things you gotta let go. And I understand that. I understand, listen, and we all got a mission, whatever it is, and we got a business, and we trying to get to the bag or whatever. I can't be worrying about all of my feelings.
Yeah, this is the thing, though. This is where the differences between men and women, and all your feminists don't come for me. I'm just.
Hey, that's why. Hey, Mo3, I'm gonna let you say it. You see, I stayed away from it, right?
I'm telling them, though, I'm just speaking the truth, man.
Hey, for the fact, this is not. I know y'all see my face. This is Mo3. In fact, let me change the 80s. Is not saying this. Let me.
Hey, listen, man.
Go ahead, Mo3.
It's just a difference, you know what I'm saying? Like, men could get away with stuff like that more than females can, because men are, not saying that all men are like that, but the majority of men are. I'm trying to think of how to say it.
It's a reason why
without sounding like
because I understand what you're saying, but I ain't gonna say it.
Like, it's hard. It's, put it like this: it's harder to hurt a man's feelings than it is a female's feelings. Females getting their feelings, it's easier to make a female get in her feelings than it is for a dude. On average,
so
yeah, you got
women are emotional, is what you're saying. You're saying they're emotional creatures.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That's what you just said. I just clarified what you said.
No, that's Nate saying that.
That's not true.
Hold on. Miss Goody Choose to speak. What you said, Miss Goody? Hold on, fellas.
The expression of emotion is different.
Yes,
but men are definitely emotional, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up.
I agree.
Because
I agree with Miss Goody Two Shoes.
And anger.
Because the NBA dudes be going to blows in the locker room.
Yeah, anger is an emotion. That's why I said I didn't say that. It's just a different. That's why I said get in their feelings. Like, they feel a certain type of way. Like feeling certain thing is different, kid. Like,
so did LeBron and Stephen A. Smith, did they feel a type of way?
Oh,
that's a good point.
Hey, what LeBron did was out of character. That was out of pocket, though. I'm sorry. He knew what he was walking up to.
Listen, I'm not saying all men are like that. I'm just saying on average. Yeah, you got.
I'm saying he was definitely emotional when he did that. LeBron was definitely emotional.
So I'm gonna say this, right? And I feel like this is unfair. I feel like this is unfortunate. I feel like what's accepted from men aren't accepted from women. And I think that's messed up.
Of course, absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I think men are allowed to show their emotion. I think men are allowed to come to blows. Men are allowed to fight, and then we'll let it go and move on. I think when women do it, people hold on to it, or people point it out. Or
I think when black women do it,
and I don't think. I'm not gonna put a color on it, but I do get what you're saying. But I'm gonna just say, like, I think it's messed up when that happens, because it's almost like the rules for WNBA players or women basketball players is different than the rules for men basketball players, and I think that's corny.
I'm gonna put it a great song, because even Angel said it when Caitlin Clark does it, it's passion. But when Angel does it, you know what I'm saying? Oh, she's a thug. Come on, man. There's definitely a racial undertone for, you know, saying against black women being, you know, aggressive. Like, oh, they show Angel and Tina going at it, but then show them hugging. I think I saw one site, ESPNW, showing them actually hanging, you know, hugging at the end. But they want to show Angel trying to fight everybody. Come on, man. Stop that. But show Caitlin Clark constantly pushing off because she can't get no actual space. But when she trying to drive past somebody, she always sticking that hand out that she did last. That's offensive foul. You know what I'm saying? She grabbing, pulling. Like, when she knows she finna fall, she grabbing the person's jersey, trying to fake a foul. Come on, man. She be flopping like LeBron. That's why he like her. and she get away with
I'm
it.
not gonna say I just ain't want to make it racial, but I'm not gonna say that that doesn't happen because we all know that angry black woman is a thing. Like that's a term that people use, and then even in the comments, excuse me, even in the comments when I went to look at what happened, what people were saying about the Angel Reese situation just now about the girl pulling her hair, I did see a lot of support for Angel Reese, but then I did see some silly people saying things
Ignorance,
like I see one ignorant black man, mind you, it was a black guy, saying something ignorant, talking about, oh, she should, if you always acting tough, you should just go to blows. And I'm sitting here like that was just stupid to say because we all know, again, in men's basketball and women basketball, people get heated sometime, and none of them. We just seen yesterday. I don't know if y'all seen in the Big Three. Dwight Howard and Lance Stevenson just got heated.
They don't like
got
each other.
heated and they rushed each other, but neither one of them threw blows. So it was
like,
why you trying to? It's like why you trying to change the rules for the women?
For women,
right? It's like because Angel got mad that the girl pulled her hair, she got to throw blows at her. No, they know they're gonna get suspended. They know that. It's only but so much aggression I could have, and even Angel, I think, did a little bit too much pushing Nelson and Dota because they could, they could have fined her for that or whatever the case may be. So you can't, as if you understand basketball, you can't fight. They want fighting out the game, But it unfortunately is gonna happen. Tempers is gonna flare up, especially if somebody pulling your hair. So you gotta understand that tempers is gonna flare up. But I just thought it was ignorant. Some of the comments that people was making. Again, you already know the people that's that wanna, you could tell when somebody just hates you, right? Because I saw people saying stupid stuff like, oh, she still, like, even with the triple double thing, oh yeah, she got a triple double, but she still suck. And it's like, yo,
that's stupid. Yeah,
just give her credit for the game. Like, that's what keeps the battle going between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. People like that, because even though I'm an Angel Reese fan, I could say, yo, Caitlin Clark had a good game the other day, shout out to her, and leave it at that. You could do the same thing with Angel. If you a Caitlin Clark fan, you could say, well, shout out to Angel. She had a triple-double. Shout out to her. You know what I mean? She's making her layers. She doing whatever it is she doing well. You can say, shout out to her. You don't have to say, oh, she's just a rebounder, but this. Oh, she da-da-da, but this. And she's like, you're gonna keep negativity going. You don't got to do that.
Brooklyn.
Hey, her coining that me bounce was freaking genius. She said, yeah, y'all trying to troll, but guess what? I'm trying to patent that because they me bounce because all of mine. I was like, this woman's a genius.
Hey,
that's
Brooklyn.
genius. She's like, yeah, they me bounce because they all mine.
Yo,
Go ahead, Mo3.
Did you watch the Fever versus New York game?
Yeah, that's the game I was talking about.
You watched the whole game?
Did I? I think I did. I think I watched most of it if I didn't.
Bruh. A lot of people that's blazing CC did not watch the whole game, bro. She was amazing and spectacular in the first half.
Right.
And as the big bro like to say, pure D trash in the second half.
See, maybe I just watched the first half then, because I don't remember her being trash.
He was garbage.
Yeah, people just watch highlights.
Half, bro. He scored 25 points, right? And was like four. What she made? She only missed like 1 3 in the first set, bro. She was like 1 for 5 or 1 for 6 from downtown in the second half. Only scored 7 points. Ended the game with 7 turnovers. Hey, she almost, if it wasn't for Kelsey Mitchell coming up clutch and Sydney Colson, the Fever would have lost that game.
Kind of lost.
The CZ was playing so garbage in the second half. Nobody's talking about that. All that she had 32 points, bro. And 25 of it was in the first half.
But that goes back to what I said about you can't live and die with logo threes, right? Like when they fall and they look good, but when they not, you got to go back to fundamental basketball.